And it is time for community comment. Here's your host, Craig Warmbold.
Is it really Chuck Mangione?
It is Chuck Mangione.
And
Chuck Mangione here on AM 1430 WBEV.
very good.
Thank you, and good afternoon. Welcome to Community Comment, a special video-streamed community comment. That's right. If you want to see what our guests look like, we invite you to tune into the Daily Dodge website. Go to dailydodge.com. I believe the banner is up right on the home page there, and you can click on that or go to the video tab, and you will be able to watch today's very special program. We have very special guests for you on today's program. A gentleman that we haven't seen for a while because there's been no...
I haven't been in here since you
reason.
remodeled the entryway.
Well, actually, we haven't invited you here since we've remodeled the entryway.
So this COVID thing was just all
A ruse.
hoax?
It was a ruse to keep you
just
away.
to keep me away from the station. Wow.
You know,
Elaborate.
yeah, the orchestra wasn't able to perform. It was really a far-reaching, elaborate thing that we worked on. But we're able to have you here now.
Well, thank you, Uncle Bill. We appreciate it.
Anytime, we do appreciate that. For folks that aren't familiar with you, you're one of the big property owners, and you do a lot with.
Sewing.
I think you're on the Landmark Commission, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the other Richard Zeman.
Oh, so which one are you?
The other one, the music one.
You're the music one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
Right.
Chuck Mangione. Did you know we were playing Chuck Mangione
Chuck
early?
Mangione.
Earlier? That was pretty good, wasn't it? Now, you play the flugelhorn, if I'm not mistaken.
I play the saxophone.
The saxophone. I was so close.
Right.
Is there much of a difference?
Almost everything is
Okay,
different about
okay.
it.
I see. Can you play any wind instrument?
No.
Okay. All right. That's good.
I like how you're shaking. You said yes and it says
I
no.
know which end to blow into, but there's some things I am not allowed to play in public anymore. Ever since I got my teaching license.
It's the court order. Yes, I
Yeah,
understand.
absolutely.
Right, and that's understandable. Well, we are here to talk about music today, are we not?
We are.
Yes, you brought
We are.
you brought a guest with you
And I
this
see
time.
your extensive notes are ready
Yes.
with
Uh-huh.
all kinds of questions.
All kinds of
This
questions.
is Chelsea Seipel.
Chelsea Seipel. Chelsea, it's nice to meet you.
Yes, you too.
Wel-
Long time
welcome,
no see.
welcome back to the program for 2021. Again, the first video stream program. Rich, Chelsea, that's got to make you feel good that we're rolling out the red carpet for you today.
We haven't done a show in probably a year and a half.
You haven't had to.
Yeah.
There's-
Everything's been shut down.
Now, we should let our listener, we're just yucking it up here today. We should
I'm sure they can't tell.
we should let our listeners know why we invited you to the program.
I'm
And actually, you guys invited
I'm going to
yourself.
show these to you because I'm sure you really have no idea what we're talking about
Yes,
either.
right.
So that's the first thing, and then we'll have a little chance to talk about this coming up. But that's the main reason. So
This piece of paper that our radio listeners have no idea
that poster,
what is on it.
poster right there.
Okay. Now you guys are with the
How come yours has a cord?
just because
Pretty special.
we want to make sure my microphone is always on. The batteries could die in those at any
And
time.
you have that
and
little foam suppressor on there?
I do. This is for radio professionals.
I see.
So, we just want to make sure.
Another layer of protection.
It is, exactly.
I see.
This is a mutter.
Yeah, a mutter.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mutter was a mutter.
Okay.
But that's a whole other story. So you are with the Seipel Music Center.
The Seipel Center for Music and the
The
Arts.
Seipel, which is what I was going to say next. The Seipel Center for Music and the Arts. And that bears a very close resemblance to your name, Chelsea.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Well, so what is the Seipel Center for Music and the Arts?
So we are an institution that was my father's childhood home. Sorry, a little closer. Okay.
Closer.
Okay, now good to go. Okay. No, so my father actually grew up there, and now it's in our family foundation. And we, several years ago, decided to create it into a music center and an art center. So we do art shows, but we have pianos in all the old bedrooms and things like that. And we had many, many lessons, or a good amount of lessons going on before everything happened. Now, post-COVID. We're hoping to open in the fall again for lessons, but we do have concerts coming up this summer. And I think that's one of the things Rich and I, were excited to talk about was, it's free to the public and outside, and we have, I've been working on new gardens, trees, fencing. We're going to have it, in a totally different area that we did a couple years ago. So it should be really nice. People can social distance and, so you, with the paper, have the lineup.
This is
And
we're only
yeah.
going to tell our video listeners
And,
what's,
yeah, and we would
coming up.
say that this is the house formerly known as the Seipel Center, but now known as a house next to Culver's.
Yeah, Seipel Homestead.
everyone
Seipel
knows
Homestead, it's still what I
exactly
call, but I just call it the Homestead.
The house next to Culver's. They go, oh, so there are people that have grown up in this community that still don't exactly know what goes on in that house.
Which is the house I call the house across the street from the Animart pet store.
Exactly.
Or the auto
Exactly.
body shop.
Right? Did that used to be an auto body shop?
I don't know, but I had a really
Highway
cute
shop.
picture with Mozart, my dog, in my new tractor that I got.
They were
And
talking.
it was auto body shop in the background. And I was like, oh,
They were talking on.
O'Reilly's?
You guys were talking on BEV. Was it yesterday about the city limits of Beaver Dam ending just before the Seipel Center?
At one
So
time,
the farm-
yes.
the
So
farm
you would have
was-
grown up
was
on the
not-
outskirts of
was
town.
not-
no, so
in
I
the
actually
city.
didn't grow up. No,
Okay.
I didn't grow up here. My
Was it your grandparents? Would that have been? what it
No,
was?
so my father, Peter Seipel, would have lived here, had his
your
company here.
grandparents were the
And my
ones that
grandparents
built
lived there, yes, built
it,
that.
yeah.
But when yeah.
You visited as a youth?
Yes, but more so at a different, yes.
Okay, this was one of the houses, and you may have come to Beaver. I think you're in Beaver Dam now more than you ever had before.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of a local
Gee,
now.
gee,
I've moved
gee.
here. Thank you.
Oh, do you live here now?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I moved from Chicago,
Me
San
too.
Francisco, Chicago, here, and
Very
even
common.
have a local driver's
There's a
license.
football
and-
team there, isn't there?
In San Francisco?
In
Or
Chicago?
Chicago?
In Chicago.
yeah.
I
Go
believe-
Bears!
I believe there is. Uh-oh. I would never say that.
So about 2 years ago, the Seipel family contacted me about coming on as music director to help form the Seipel Center for Music and the Arts. And what we've done is we've offered a place for music teachers, voice, strings, piano. Piano's huge. All the instruments to come and basically teach their lessons at the Seipel Center. So the bedrooms are studios. Each of the bedrooms have, former bedrooms have music stands, chairs, pianos. And then teachers lease space from the Seipel Center like you would a music store.
Okay.
And before COVID came and shut us down in March, we had just a little over 10 teachers that were teaching. We just got over about 120, 125 individual lessons
Wow.
every week
Every week.
that were coming in.
So those are students, 125 students. that you-
125 different
And
people
in
that
just
were
a
coming in.
short amount.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When we say students,
Yeah.
we don't just mean youth.
Oh,
These
no,
are
no,
people
no,
of
no.
any age.
Yeah,
No,
any
no.
age.
Any age. There
Yeah.
were a number of seniors, and I don't mean senior high school,
Yeah.
but senior age. And it was tough because now, the challenge to get it up and running is attract the teachers, get them to commit to being there, helping them to get students to come and start getting their studio filled back up. Well, now with COVID, you might have a teacher who's ready to go, but you might have students that are going, I'm not ready to go out in public yet. And so there's a lot of pieces that need to fall back together.
A lot of people
But-
are making these decisions right now. When do we launch this?
Exactly.
When do we start resuming that? When do we hold this event?
Yeah, so we're hoping by September, there's no reason to try and start music lessons now in May and June and July. Things just
Summer
don't start
months.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You start up in the fall, so we're hoping that by September, we'll have a slate of teachers lined up again, students that can come in. So people who are watching or listening, if you're a piano teacher or voice teacher, contact us. And it's seipelcenter.com, and Seipel is spelled completely different from what you would think. So Seippel, seipelcenter.org. .org.
Yeah.
And that'll take you to our website, and then you can read about what's all involved with being a teacher there, or finding a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and then taking those piano lessons or guitar lessons or vocal lessons, things like that. So
In Chelsea, this whole concept really fits into the intentions of your family when the space became available to the public. Well, I don't want to say it's available to the public, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, and we're redoing the back, hoping to make it event space for the public.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, the principle of it is to be here for the community, serve the community, and that's, yeah, so absolutely all of this fits right in with, I think, what my father intended.
And we are seeing a ton of changes. You mentioned the fence. I mean, that's anybody that drives down North Spring Street is going to notice, hey, things look kind of different over here. It's like you've carved out your own little pocket.
Like little entity, yeah, and we're hoping maybe eventually to do like, I mean, if it hadn't been COVID, I wanted to do a big Christmas thing, Easter egg hunt, but,
Okay.
So next year we have, hopefully, fingers crossed, all things being better and different, a lot to look forward to.
And you got that talk about the outskirts of town. You still have that is it a barn?
Yes. So we're looking at making that an event venue where the quote unquote what you would call shed area is, which would be that other building you see.
Okay.
That's where the concerts are actually going to be held, on the backside of that, so everybody can be out in the gardens. And you've got the fence, you have the trees. Everybody will be looking towards that because we're actually redoing the whole whole cement area there so that a band can completely house on it.
did you attend the summer concerts?
I
The first
did,
year
and they
we
were
did it?
out in the front.
They were out in the front yard.
Yeah.
So we're moving that now that there's a privacy fence between the Disciple Yard and Culver's.
Mhm. A lot of headlights if you don't do something like that, I imagine.
Exactly.
And trash.
So
and,
there's
like,
there's a building between the house and the large barn that's called the shed, but it's hardly a shed. I mean, it's just beautifully done. And then on the south side of that shed, so facing Culver's, will be where our stage area.
Okay.
There's a large concrete area right attached to the building. And then people can bring picnic baskets, blankets, lawn chairs, use that whole grass area and garden area, and come and enjoy the music that way.
Is that the long-term plan, or is that what we're going to see for the Disciple Summer Series 2021 concerts in the garden?
In the garden.
In the
Yes,
garden.
In the garden.
yes.
They will be in the garden. Well, why don't we, we had mentioned these a few times, but why don't we put the lineup out there for folks
Yeah.
right here off the bat? If you're joining us on video, which you should be if you have an internet connection, just head on over to Daily Dodge. We're going to try to start doing more of this. We're
And maybe on
we're
Daily
very happy
Dodge,
to have you as our
could
first guest.
You could put a link on that to our Disciple Center.
Sure.
Our
20
Disciple
bucks.
Center link.
20 bucks.
So it sounds good.
All right.
You really don't have to pay me to do that. But I appreciate it. So what's
let's
going
squeeze in the lineup, Richard.
What's going to happen for this year is that the Disciple Center is going to present Disciple Summer Series SSS
Okay.
2021.
Nice.
And
Better than
normally
666.
normally June and July, but we weren't sure what June was going to look like this year.
Okay.
So we've got it July and August. And these concerts are outside, in the garden, free, open to the public. We encourage people to bring a picnic basket, something to drink, and a lawn chair or a blanket, and enjoy the music. So kicking off concert every Tuesday in July and August, 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Tuesday, or July 6th, will be the Beaver Dam Community Band making their premiere performance this year.
Perennial favorites?
Yep. A week later, July 13th, the Monica Herdick Jazz Trio is going to return. They're a Fond du Lac bass group. They're going to just really neat jazz group. I mean, sitting on the grass, maybe you're drinking a glass of something in particular and listening to jazz. I mean, what could be better than that? And then July 20th, probably one of Beaver Dam's most popular groups, Local Vocals, will be performing on the grounds. And then a takeoff from the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater called Broadway Showstoppers. This is a group of about 10 musicians that are going to do a review, so to speak, of Broadway.
Is that
pieces.
Ryan Klug's
Yeah,
thing?
Ryan
Oh,
Klug
wonderful. Yeah.
organizes that. A group that you're familiar with, Whiskey Flats,
Sure,
on
yeah.
August 10th.
Yeah.
Elwood Lee and his guys. You sit
Michael
in
Henny.
once in a while, right? You play a little bit?
Well, Elwood plays in a band that's not on this lineup yet. The Damn Heathens, of course, which I would say is Beaver Dam's greatest
I
band.
asked Elwood about that group, and he said that they weren't ready. not quite ready for prime time.
No, we're not ready for morning either, really, or afternoon for that matter.
I missed the date. August 3rd, the community band is going to come back, so they're going to do the first Tuesday of July and August, the community band. And then the last one, August 17th, I'm putting a big band together. So we're going to have some big band jazz with 13 of my closest friends, and we're going to close out the concerts.
I know what I was going to say, what this lineup really is missing, and that is Rich Zeman. But it looks like I stand corrected, as that's Rich Zeman's microphone right there in that picture. I'm assuming this is a picture of you performing.
Well, what instrument do you see there?
Is that the flugelhorn?
No, that's the saxophone.
That's a saxophone. You play that?
Actually, do you know that Cale played saxophone?
I did not.
He did, yeah.
Cale played saxophone. I don't think that was a saxophone.
He
That
had
was
saxophone.
Do you remember which one?
Alto.
He played the alto.
You played the alto fair?
Yeah.
That's great.
It
That is a big
It took
event.
Cale quite a long time to learn which end to blow into, but once he got that figured out, it was
Just like-
yeah.
Like syrupy, creamy soda, I
Yeah.
imagine, as
Yeah.
soon as he was able to.
Yeah, well, Kenny G, he didn't sound anything like that.
No.
So we're really excited, and the Disciple Foundation is sponsoring this, and we booked all of the musicians, so it's totally free. It's a way to have the community congregate, see the beautiful work that's been done at the Disciple Center, and I'm excited about it. That's some good groups that are coming.
And this is this concert series, which you can see again at disciplecenter.org.
Correct.
If you missed it, we'll put it on our website anywhere we can. This is really something that you started pre-pandemic and now are finally able to kind of return to form, if you
We
will.
only had one in. That was in
Just one. Wow.
2019.
Yeah.
We did a summer series. That was the one on the front lawn.
Right.
And then we had it all ready to go for 2020, and obviously we needed to cancel it. I think we had all of these groups lined up for last summer.
Now, Chelsea, have you taken music lessons, or are you taking music lessons with the new Disciple Center
I
for Music
have
and the Arts?
taken some guitar lessons.
Oh.
I know how to play the piano, but maybe now that I'm up here, I might have to fancy up a bit,
Well, I think maybe a special guest host with the big band jazz combo with special guest Chelsea on the ivories. I'm just saying, it
You
might
know-
sell some tickets.
You know how to get a guitar player to play softer, don't you?
How do you do that?
You give them music. So
That's good.
That's
funny.
That's true.
Well, I mean, all those little notes, they don't make any sense. I mean, why didn't it just say, this is what you do?
Yeah.
It's so confusing.
Yeah, they should come up
Greek
with
to
something
me.
like that.
Exactly.
So yeah, we're excited about it. It's just, as a musician, and I know you guys get a copy of our newsletter that we sent out, and I'll often write a little bit. And one of the issues I wrote about being a musician and what this has been like to not be able to play live.
Right.
I've done some stuff virtually, and it's just not the same. You know, it's like, it's got to be like doing stand-up comedy to absolutely no
Or like the
audience.
football players.
Where you have
Right.
there's no reaction. You don't know how this is going over at all. And to be able to get musicians out in an audience again is just something we're really excited about.
Well, the Damn Heathens approach is to play so loud that you couldn't hear any feedback anyway.
But
So
not-
doesn't that work?
But
Isn't
not
that a good
after
approach?
10 o'clock, right?
But not
Isn't
after,
it-
it's
is it-
11 o'clock.
Is it
now.
11 o'clock
Yes,
now?
Yeah, well,
So,
that's when you
because
got
I don't know if you know there, but there was an issue about a certain place on Madison
Was
being
there?
kind of loud after
What
hours.
happened?
I don't know. Aren't you
Is
news
everything
director?
okay?
I'll send you a news tip on
Yeah,
that.
let me know. Did you follow that?
I'll let you know.
Were you the reason why they had to put that law into place? Was it your crazy saxophone
That
playing
was
at all
Zeman,
hours of the night?
Z-I-E.
Oh, it was the real estate guy that was doing that. huh?
That was the other Richard Zeman.
So, it just must be so nice. Chelsea, you start this, wonderful new thing in Beaver Dam, and then the pandemic hits. It must be so nice to be able to get back and try to at least chart that course now back to where you had intended to be a year ago.
Oh, I mean, I'm very, very excited about the concerts. I just think everybody, not just our community, the global community at the end of the day needs stuff like this right now.
Absolutely.
Especially more and more people are getting vaccinated. People are getting more comfortable being around people. And this is all still social distancing. So, we're not opening the house yet. We're hoping to in fall, as we mentioned. But, no, I'm very, very excited. I think it's going to be fun. And we've done a lot of work to the property. And so I hope everybody, just enjoys being in a nice atmosphere, great music, and their picnics. We're hoping to get food trucks potentially too. So hello, if there's any food trucks out there that want to contact me. Yeah, so I'm very excited.
And fall, so then you might be opening to students again. And we mentioned, it's not just younger students, it's anybody of any age, but really the younger you get those kids in there learning music the right way, the better chance they have of being able to embrace something like that, which it could be a lifelong experience for them.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Is that something you've done with for example, your kids, your grandkids? Is that something you experienced growing up, Chelsea? Is that idea of teaching music to that next generation? You learned piano early.
Yeah, I learned, I think fairly early on. I remember my maternal grandmother singing to me, so I think my dad's, we all just, are kind of
second nature.
No, even if we're not that great at all of it,
I taught in the public schools here for a few years, and I wish I had had $1 for every time someone said, "Do you know anyone that teaches blank violin? Do you know anyone that teaches piano? Do you know anyone that teaches?" You know what? Ukulele is really popular right now, and it's just like, do you know anyone that teaches ukulele? It's like, or bagpipes. I had a request for bagpipes.
Yes,
Serious.
I've had a couple of
And
those,
harp. I've got a waiting list for 3 people that would love to take harp lessons.
Now, you've got kind of the traditional instruments that you mentioned, but if somebody were to come forward and say, well, I teach bagpipes, I teach harp, that's the type of thing they're looking for.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Ukulele, so I would always say, well, I know this woman teaches piano at her house, or this guy teaches some guitar, but I don't know. Now, it's kind of all in-house with the Disciple Center, that someone can go on and find that piano teacher, find that string teacher, and then contact them. The nice thing as a teacher is you may or may not always be comfortable with having people in your house to teach lessons. The kid is usually okay with coming in and teach, but as a parent, you drop your kid off, and then you're not always comfortable coming in that teacher's house and sitting in their kitchen waiting for them to be done. So what do? You sit in your car out in the driveway and you're waiting, right? Now the Disciple Center has a beautiful waiting area downstairs. Families would come in to use the Wi-Fi. Their kid goes upstairs, has a lesson, they come back down, they leave, they go over to Culver's, grab a bite to eat. There's plenty of parking. It just worked really well. So we just kind of had the stuffing knocked out of us during this last year. So it really is going to be a whole redo come fall.
And you can sit out in your car, too, if you want to. Maybe
Oh,
you've got
absolutely.
your work station out there or something. You want to...
Absolutely.
I mean, that it's the
The
flexibility.
Wi-Fi does go all the way to the garden, so you could even sit out there while it's still nice.
Not that you would want to be on your phone while you're listening to wonderful music from the likes of Rich Zeman and whatnot, but you could do that, it
You
sounds
could go
like.
park in the Disciple parking lot and
No,
and
but
use the
don't
Wi-Fi.
do that unless your kid's actually at lessons, because I have people doing that.
We have the
That's-
pass. You got to have password.
A secret password. So you've got this opportunity to teach that next generation the gift of music. Are there any kids that you maybe want to see get music lessons
Oh my
in
gosh,
the future?
when you do it long
Or any
enough,
little friends?
you're teaching kids of kids.
Yeah, kids of kids.
You know,
Kids of kids?
One of the reasons I retired from Beaver Dam High School when I did.
Because those kids were annoying, weren't they?
No,
Okay.
I was just about 2 or 3 years away from the grandkids of kids coming in the door.
And that was too much for you?
And I was, oh yeah, you had my grandpa. Nobody wants to hear that. You taught my grandpa, no. So I did it. Actually, when I had Cale Zomer as a student, that was kind of when I began to start thinking I need to stop doing this for a while.
I hear he's a real blowhard.
So yeah. You still have that saxophone? No? Your girl's gonna play? Not drummers. Don't let them date drummers.
No, you don't.
Or guitar players. Yeah. But they're the cute ones.
But the drummers keep good time.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a drum kit over at the
You're-
Disciple
you're
Center?
ba- you're-
Is that what? Do you need one? I can donate one
You're
to
a
you.
bass player, right?
I'm a guitar player.
You're a guitar player.
Sometimes we've got like 18 guitar players in the band, so sometimes it's like, well, you could play bass because it's just the same 4 strings, and I say, yeah, but I really can't. I try. Can you teach me?
I can.
Can you?
I can.
You play bass
I
guitar?
do play a little bass.
Do you really?
Yeah.
What
But
else?
I
You're
got
a
a guy. But I got a
multi-instrumentalist.
guy who is much better bass player that can teach
Really?
you. Absolutely.
Okay. I'm in.
Yeah. Okay. He can give you lessons. He can show
is he
you.
here?
Show you.
Can we do
whatever
that
you want.
now?
Go on the website.
Okay.
And click on Jeff's name, and you can pull up his schedule and see how much he charges. You will have to pay a lot for lessons.
Do I have to pay extra?
We'll see. He does kind of a quality control
Oh, is that-
screening.
Is that what it
He'll
is?
sit down with you and see where you're at. But
So I'm thinking maybe is it hard to teach a kid?
depends on the instrument.
Okay.
Yeah. One's this young. We're pointing at my grandchildren are here.
Oh, these are your
visiting.
grandchildren that have
So,
been in this
you guys
audience
want
the
to come
whole
and
time?
say hello?
These children
Simran?
here
Yeah.
in the Daily Dodge streaming studios at
Come on over
Bill
and say
McCullum
hi.
Way. Well, it's a good thing we're on video. Well, who do we have here?
This is my granddaughter Simran,
Hi,
and
Simran.
this is my grandson Renvir, and they're from Minneapolis.
Hi, Renvir.
They come and
Hi,
stay
Simran.
with
And
us
who is this?
for a while.
Yeah, I know.
That's Gerald. That's Gerald. And they're both good singers. Are you gonna play an instrument someday?
Piano. Okay, very
You wanna play an
nice.
instrument someday? Guitar.
Nice. Neither of them said
Like I
saxophone.
said, the cute ones want to play guitar.
I can't help it. I was born this way.
And Gerald's gonna play saxophone.
Oh.
Perfect. That is great.
Saxophone.
So what do you're visiting your grandpa? This must be very exciting. You get to see Beaver. How long have you been here?
About a week.
Ooh, that's fun. What have you done since you've been here?
Went on tractor rides
Nice.
to the pirate ship park.
You went to the pirate ship park? I do. That's over at Waterworks Park. That's
very good.
my.
We call it the Pirate Bridge. And we went to Tahoe Park, one with the smaller one there, went on a pier. Where are we going tomorrow?
Cave of the Mountains. To the Cave of
Oh, it's a cool 55 degrees year round there, I hear. It's going to be perfect weather. So, did you drive the tractor? Were you guys driving tractors? Is that what was going on?
No, we
Did you
rode
drive
in a-
them?
We rode in a trailer at the back.
Oh, okay. I got it. That must have been fun.
It was.
I bet. I believe it. Well,
There's 2 tractors, one small tractor and one big tractor.
you drove the small tractor?
No, we didn't drive them. We rode in the back.
You really didn't drive them? Did you ask if you could drive
I
them?
mean, no, I drove them once.
Really?
Not trackers, trailers.
Trailers. Okay.
One big black
He's
one.
not a very, very good listener.
I'm not.
Talking all the time.
I am. I interrupt people, but you should never interrupt people.
A big
What was
black
that?
One,
Sorry.
big black one and a small red one.
Trailers are talking.
That you wrote. Was there hay in the back?
Tractors are green and yellow, just so everyone knows.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing
Straight out of
rhymes
Oregon.
here.
Both of them.
Was there hay on the trailers?
Nope.
Nope.
And these are like lawn tractors.
Ah.
See, these are not like the tractors that you pass up on. the
Wasn't a
highway.
Surrey ride, is what you're saying. Well, it must be very exciting. Has your grandfather played saxophone for you since you've been here? Has he like belted out a few Chuck Mangione tunes or anything?
No, no.
Well, you should ask him after this. You should say, Grandpa, will you play some saxophone for us? And now Rich has his saxophone here. Rich, you're going to be treating us to a song?
No, Uncle Bill, I didn't bring it today.
Darn it. Thought it was worth a try. So now we've got to take a break, guys. So can you say, we'll be right back?
We'll be right back.
All right.
Oh, in perfect
Nice job. What do you do when you say something at the same time?
Ditto.
Jinx.
Oh, jinx, that's what it is.
And we'll be right back here on AM 1430 WBEV's Community Comment.
PDACT's Telltale Theater.
My dentist cares about me.
Hi, this is Dr. Adam Forster. At Columbus Family Dental, we care about you and your entire family. We're here to provide comprehensive, convenient care for you and your loved ones in a comfortable, laid-back environment. Whether you need braces for the kids or cosmetic work for yourself, we're here waiting for you. Call us today at 623-5559 to set up your no-pressure, free consultation to see if we're the right fit for you.
Is it time for a job change? Are you looking for a local, reputable company with competitive wages, shift premiums, generous PTO, on-site gyms and health clinics, and so much more? Do you love cheese? If you answered yes and are interested in a $1,000 sign-on bonus, then Grande Cheese Company is the place for you. Grande is now accepting applications to join their production teams in Brownsville, Lamira, Rubicon, Wyocena, Judah, and Fond du Lac. Come be part of the Grande family. Apply online today. Visit grande.com/careers.
Craig, you're on the air.
And we're back here on Community Comment.
The name of the band you're in?
The Damn Heathens.
The Damn Heathens.
Yeah.
Is that, are you a regular member in that group?
I'm a founding
Don't
member.
blush.
I'd like to consider
Don't blush.
myself.
You're acting a little flushed here right now.
I
Are you
am.
embarrassed by the name of that band?
No, I think it's a brilliant name.
Really?
Yeah, I would be the John Lennon of the band.
So, how
Not
do
in
you
terms of
spell
talent.
the word damn? How does that spell?
Well, it would be like Beaver Dam.
Oh, like Beaver
You see,
Dam.
Rich, it's a play on words.
I see
It's,
that.
it's meant to be a pun.
I see that.
This is Rich Zeman, by the way, if you're just joining us. He's our guest on this segment of Community Comment, along with Chelsea Seipel. They were in to talk about the Seipel Summer Series 2021 Concerts in the Garden, which kick off on July 6th. But we decided that we were going to keep Rich a little while longer so he could give us a hard time.
Every Tuesday in July and most Tuesdays in August, beginning July 6th, 6:30, 8 o'clock, bring food, bring drink, bring something to sit on. Parking,
We'll be at.
where should they park?
Where should they park?
So handicap parking will be in the back, and we'll have signs for all of this. And then the other parking, the bank next door, not at Culver's, unless you're actually
Don't
eating
park
at
at
Culver's. No,
Culver's,
don't
yeah.
park at Culver's. And so if it really, the bank fills up the mall, it's a short walk,
Yeah, there's plenty of
The
parking around there.
National Bank next door?
Yeah.
National Exchange Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just because of where we're doing it this year, we thought, if it's,
And there's a lot of parking there at the bank.
yeah.
So the damn heathens could use a saxophone player.
Really?
Yeah.
So what, are you do original tunes or is it cover tunes?
We do have 2 or 3 originals, believe it or not. But no, it's mostly cover tunes of Chuck Mangione and the like. Which is really hard to do without wind instruments in the band.
And the like.
And the
Earth,
like.
Wind, and Fire?
We don't play
do
any Earth, Wind, and Fire. No, we specialize.
Chicago?
No, we specialize in 3-chord songs in 4/4 time. That is our bread and butter.
Aren't they all like that?
Well, you would be surprised. There are some there are songs out there in 3/4 time. What is that?
Who needs
That
more
is
than
crazy.
Who needs more than 3 chords? I don't even own a fireplace.
They say 3 chords in the truth. We know all 7 chords in a bunch of bull. That's all you need.
Great. So what are some bands that you playing covers to?
Well, the Beatles obviously are big. The Stones. With the classic rock segment there.
So is it all old guys in the group?
Do you consider me old?
Yeah.
No, it is not.
Okay.
We have the reason we're the damn heathens is because our bass player, who's since moved to Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Yes. And he performs up there when allowed. He was going to go to, of course, his church band practice after our band practice, but we lured him away with the promise of loud rock and roll and cheap beer. So then, clearly, at that moment, we christened ourselves.
So this guy plays in a rock band called the Damn Heathens just before he goes off to his church
just
band
before his
gig?
church band gig,
I
yes.
see.
So the name pretty much presented itself
Kind of
at that
explains
point.
the Minneapolis thing.
It did. Then he hightailed it out of here on the first train he could take. So we need a bass player and a saxophone player, except we don't need a bass player.
All
But
right,
you
well,
could
did
play
they tell you
play
that
bass.
Kale plays saxophone.
He did. Yeah, he said he was.
Still could.
Yeah. Kale.
He got almost all the way through the first beginning Red Book. Almost all the way.
The first week I practiced in my room, my mom thought I snuck a rabbit cat into my room. I think he wants you and Dan Heathens, because I think they're wanting to cover some Bruce Springsteen. Is that what you're doing?
We could do that.
You
like the Bruce? Does he like
one
the
time
boss?
I was having a lesson with Kale, and I said, Kale, if you would take this home and practice a little, you actually could do all right. And he said, if I brought my saxophone home, my mom would think I quit. So I thought that was a good line. So that was worthy of. So.
That's
And
so
your mom would have said that too.
Kale, you quit another instrument. He quit the French horn too, the same way, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And the flugelhorn. So apparently you are involved with musical things
I'm
in the
the-
Beaver Dam
right.
area,
I'm
and
the-
it's not just the Seipel
I'm
Center
the
for
music director for the Seipel Center.
Mm-hmm.
So anything music related.
and you're part of the big band jazz.
Teachers and
Mhm.
and finding students and helping with the concert series and all those kind
But
of
it
things.
does not end there, does
I'm
it?
also the music director for the Beaver Dam Area Orchestra, and that I have
Is
been.
that right?
Yeah, entering my, stay with me, 30th season for me.
You're the 30th season. It's the 30th season. It's been around for at least twice that long, and you're half of all of the musical
we're
conductors. that have
starting
been.
our 68th season,
68. Wow.
and only 2 music directors.
2. And who preceded you?
Glenn Wood.
Glenn Wood.
He was the founder, and then he did it for 37 years.
Did you have a concert season last year?
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
No, we were, our season goes from September till April. We do a concert in November. We do a Christmas concert, real popular.
Sure.
You've been at those.
Many of them.
And then a concert in April, and then we wrap up. So we were rehearsing on March. It was St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 2020. We had a rehearsal, and that was the last time we rehearsed. We got shut down.
Mhm.
Concerts got, everything. So beginning around February, things, we rehearsed at Beaver Dam High School. Things were starting to loosen up a little bit.
Okay.
So they were looking at offering the community access to the building with certain circumstances. And I talked to the board of directors with the orchestra, as well as send an email out to musicians. And I said, what would you think about getting the string section together of the orchestra? The strings meaning violin, cello, bass, those things. The reason for that being is that those musicians can wear masks the entire time that they're playing.
Wind instruments are a completely different
Wind
animal.
instruments are you're blowing into it, and the air is coming out, and particles are coming out. Wind musicians do have filters that they put on the ends of their instruments now.
Really?
Catch some
And
of
that's
it.
a new thing?
Yeah, to catch some of that stuff. So all the high school kids are using all that middle school.
Does that hamper the sound?
It doesn't seem to a little bit. I think the average person wouldn't catch
Okay.
it. Depending on what they're playing, you can kind of tell it's a little muffled.
But this is the approach you guys are taking in
Yeah,
2021.
so beginning in March, we got the okay, and we started rehearsing just strings. And I threw the word out to all strings, and I said, this is what we're going to do. Totally up to you. If you're not comfortable playing, as we talked about, some folks are more comfortable than others. Let me know. Let's see what we can get. Well, it worked out really well. We had 25 strings that signed on to it. And so the literature is just strings. There's no trumpets, no clarinets or anything like that. And we're going to do a concert, our first concert since December 2019.
Because the April
Yeah,
2020
yeah.
concert would have been canceled.
We're going to do a concert this Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock at Beaver Dam High School. Now, the caveat is that seating is limited. Right now, the auditorium allows about 1/3 capacity, which is 180 seats. So if you're interested in coming to the concert in person, I would say go to BD Orchestra, bdorchestra.com, and on there, my information is on there. Email me that you might be interested in getting some tickets, and I can send you in the right direction.
So tickets are needed for this concert.
Yeah, the ticket is free. Well, we need to cap how many people are coming in.
The
And then-
Ticketmaster fees will cost you $48.
Yeah, we call it a courtesy
fee. Yes, right,
yeah.
of course.
And it is going to be live streamed also.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
we have a YouTube channel, I guess. I don't know that technical aspect. Apparently, you guys aren't familiar with that kind
The
of
Beaver
thing
Dam
either.
School District does have a
Yeah.
YouTube channel there.
So it'll be live streamed also. Really looking forward to doing live music.
Yeah, this-
So I
great.
got together with them end of March for the first time, and we rehearsed, and I said, you guys, I have gone an entire year without yelling at a single musician. And it was so strange, to not have that weekly interaction with that. And they've enjoyed coming. If folks don't know, the Beaver Dam Area Orchestra is a volunteer group of musicians. We are now in 6 different counties.
Wow.
We have some folks that are coming from Fond du Lac, from Oshkosh, Madison, Ripon, Hartford. I think we're in 28 different communities that people are coming up to play in. So bdorchestra.com and then disciplecenter.org is where we're at.
And it's this Sunday, May 23rd, 2 p.m. The Damn Heathens will be opening. We're really
They're
looking forward to
opening
that.
the doors for us.
Opening the doors. We should
Handing out
clarify that.
programs.
That is correct. What is it like to have conducted an orchestra, wind, strings, etc., for 30 years, and now you find yourself in this stripped-down presentation, no wind instruments? You we joke you are a saxophone player, though you do have, you are a multi-instrumentalist. That's still kind of your main passion, I would guess. How different is that?
When I taught high school, part of my job at high school was to teach orchestra. And orchestra at high school is mostly strings.
Mm-hmm.
So I taught string orchestra for 30 years.
Well, what was Cale doing there with a saxophone if it's mostly
he
strings?
He was in the band. So it was a different component. So this is like falling off a log. I mean, it's really easy. The literature is different. We're playing some Mozart. We're playing some Bach, one of the Brandenburg concertos. We're playing some fiddle tunes.
Doing some fiddling.
Wabash Cannonball.
Okay.
I know that. And
Well, it's got more than 3 chords, so I don't.
no, it doesn't. Piece called Washburn County, which is a Wisconsin composer up in the Washburn area, and a couple other little string gems that are just going to be neat.
So you're playing Mozart's Symphony Number 25 in G minor. The first movement. Is that something that was written for strings only?
No, that actually had some winds in it, but it's in those days orchestra. When we refer to orchestra, when you think about percussion and brass, there was really just a couple of wind players in those days.
Okay.
Maybe 2 trumpets and maybe 2 oboes. So this part excludes those winds without any real compromise.
And is that's an intention going into this? Obviously, if you're picking fiddle music and folk tunes, those
Right.
are presumably going to be back porch kind of string arrangement type of things. But that's a conscious decision that you're making when you have to just select what songs you're doing,
Absolutely.
how you're going to be able to do this without maybe some of those traditional pieces in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And your choice was to perhaps find something that has less wind instruments in it that won't be easily missed. Do you compensate for that?
One of the cool things, the Bach Brandenburg Concerto Number 3.
Yeah.
So we're doing the first section of that. These are really famous pieces, and what we're playing is exactly the way that he wrote it. There was no winds involved. It's just all strings. So that was written for strings. The Folk Tune and Fiddle Dance, the Sentimental Saraband from Benjamin Britten, all string pieces. Washburn County. The Mozart, we just omitted those wind parts.
The Damn Heathens do
and it
too
works.
when we play
yeah,
that song.
it works really well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And when you're up there, when you're conducting a string band, is that
String orchestra.
a string orchestra? Excuse me. You're right. There is a difference between a string band and a string orchestra. That's an
String
excellent
band
point.
would be more
Right.
hillbilly.
Well, you're playing the fiddle
Well, you're
dance,
from
so
Illinois, you know.
I'm familiar with some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's usually South Chicago, though.
You think?
I don't even remember my
Whacker Drive's
question.
got a lot of hillbillies on it.
Right. Well, there's a lot of jugs there, so there's a lot of jug band music that
Oh, boy.
started. I could bring my jug if you would like me to.
Just keep moving.
I don't even remember what my question was going to be. It was so well thought out, though. It was such
How
a
about
great
conducting
question.
an orchestra?
Oh yeah. So tell me about conducting. How is it? Is it very different to conduct a string orchestra versus a full orchestra? Are you even earning your keep?
Oh, boy, that's really a good question. Am I earning my keep? So how do I say this to a non-musician? Because I know you're a guitar player. So
Said the guy whose grandson just said he wanted to play.
yeah,
there we go.
yeah, but I've got time to turn that ship.
Yeah, we'll get you on a real instrument.
You
in
know,
no time.
when it's all strings, and I'm talking orchestral strings, you're all kind of speaking the same language.
Yeah.
You're reading the same notes. You all have a bow. You're all playing your instrument the same way. You're all speaking the same language. You throw a trumpet in there, and now it's a different beast. They're blowing into it. The notes are different. How they make their music is different. Throw a flute in there, and that changes it even more. So a full orchestra is like the ultimate group because you have everything in there. But you're dealing with clarinets, and you're dealing with drummers, and you're dealing with trombone players, and you're dealing with violas, and it's everything. So there's so many more pieces where with strings, we can talk about the bow, we can talk about the pizzicato, we can talk about the kinds of sounds that we want, and then I'll apply to everybody.
And what are the instruments in the string orchestra?
A violin is divided into two sections, simply first violin, second violin, high violin, low violin.
And that's by octave?
Yeah, or in a choir you would say soprano, mezzo-soprano. Alto range is the viola. Viola is a little larger instrument than the violin. They all have 4 strings. The cello, or the violin cello it's sometimes called, is the one instrument that has to be played seated. It's the one that sits in front of you. Yo-Yo Ma plays the cello. And then the string bass. So there's 5 parts, 4 different instruments, 5 parts, but they all have 4 strings. They all are played with a bow. So we all kind of speak the same language that way.
And it is going to be on the stage of the Beaver Dam High School Auditorium.
Really looking forward to
Yeah.
that. I'm just excited to get them out. They're excited to play, even though the audience will be limited, just to have some people hear it and respond and clap and play. You know, it's been a long time.
So again, that's this Sunday, May 23rd, 2 p.m., Beaver Dam High School Auditorium. August 17th, as part of the Seipel Summer Series 2021 Concerts in the Garden, you've got your big band jazz band. Tell us about
We
that.
had another date to fill in Chelsea is so generous through the center of bringing in all this stuff. And I just thought it'd be fun just to get some of my friends together, my wind playing mostly jazz musicians, and put a big band together. Now, big band can mean Glenn Miller, In the Mood, big band, or it can be just a reference for a type of jazz group, traditionally saxophones, trombones, trumpets, and then a rhythm section. In rhythm section, we mean a drum and a bass and piano player at minimum, sometimes guitar. So we're going to do a little mix. We're going to do a little big band music, meaning 30s or 40s, and then we're going to do some more updated things, some Count Basie, some Ellington, Gordon Goodwin, some more contemporary stuff.
You're choosing to go primarily wind instrument, though, with that band, it sounds like.
Correct, yeah.
And
The only string would be the bass player.
bass player.
And that's bass guitar.
So what type of musical selections are you looking at? Have you hammered that out? Have you guys been meeting? Has this band actually met?
We haven't
yet?
met yet. Matter of fact, I just emailed everybody today, and did you know what a doodle is?
I've heard of the doodles. You did a doodle.
I did a doodle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you throw some dates out, or I'm throwing some dates out to rehearse.
Okay. So you're just now you've identified the band. Now you guys are going, and that's such a huge milestone too, being able to actually get together with people and rehearse.
Exactly.
Because with the orchestra, you're not doing. You're just pointing your little stick at everybody with that thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's the easy part. But the blessed thing is that I know a lot of people. So I want to throw a band together. I can email a bunch of people and say, hey, you're going to play. What do you think? You know, I always start with getting the rhythm section set up. You can't do this without a good drummer. You need a bass player. And then you kind of go from there.
Yeah. I haven't gotten an email yet. Did you send it to my work email, or was that?
Yeah, boy, you should have gotten that.
Okay. So I should just check, maybe I'll check my spam folder.
Let me send it to you again.
I'll look high and low for that.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
I sent the music. Did you see the music? The thing with the 5 lines, and then it's got like these little black raspberries on it.
Is that like tablature? Guitar tablature? Is that what that is?
Yeah, total.
Okay.
It's just like
I'm real
this,
good with that.
totally different.
Okay. Oh, it's the same, but not the same at all.
Exactly, yeah.
In the meantime, music is back. I mean, let's just
Good
take a
Lord.
minute to just think about that.
Yeah, and you know, we were talking about that, and this seems so obvious, but I think sometimes we forget. This is global.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
isn't just our area that is going through this. The musicians in all over the world have been sitting home,
Yeah.
and we haven't been able to get out and go to a restaurant and get a beer or just hang out. So I think
No, I think I'm seriously probably doing the first Star-Spangled Banner, like, not just for families finally being able to get back together, and all, I'm probably gonna go, oh, yeah,
no, it's real. That first rehearsal, I'll tell with the orchestra, I'll tell you. I mean, there were a lot of tears from those folks. I mean, they were wearing masks, but you could tell it was very moving for them to be able to sit next relatively close to someone. That's a little different too. You got to space everybody apart. It's emotional to just have this desire to play and ultimately perform. And it's not the same doing it for an electronic device.
Right.
Right. It's so all the comedy clubs and the concert venues
theaters.
and
Community
orchestras
theaters,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
community theaters and operas and
Just been silent.
yeah.
Where did you hear the Star-Spangled Banner? Are you looking forward to hearing the Star-Spangled
Oh,
Banner?
no, I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Do you have
But if you've heard like the Sound of Silence, that song, if you look it up, I mean, that or like Andrea Bocelli's stuff when he performed, I mean, just how moving that is where there's nobody around. And now after like a good year and a half-ish, the first time that the Star-Spangled Banner's played at the Seipel Center, and you actually get to see families together again, grandparents that haven't gotten to see their grandkids in forever, and musicians that haven't gotten to play together. Yeah, I'll be the one in the corner probably losing it. So
I've got goosebumps right now
no,
even
I
thinking
mean,
about it.
it's so, the fact that, even as a global community, even, that, I mean, obviously the Star-Spangled Banner already is meaningful for those that have fought to bring us, where we are today and died for our country and everything. But the way we've all fought to survive, and make allow each other to survive. And now finally, we're moving forward on surviving.
I think moving on
together,
in
yeah.
our lives
Yeah.
now, I think everything is going to be pre-COVID and post-COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's
You know,
like a
it's gotta
9/11
be
type
like
thing,
our,
I think.
yeah.
my parents and maybe your
More than a
your
day.
grandparents,
Yeah.
what
World War
was
II,
what the
yeah.
war was like.
Yeah.
Before the war and after the war.
Yeah.
That's kind of what, oh yeah, that was pre-COVID.
I call it
when-
BC,
Yeah.
before COVID.
Before
Yeah.
COVID, AC,
Yeah.
after COVID.
Corinne finished
Yeah.
her picture for you. I
Oh,
think
can we
she's-
see the
She's
picture?
she's got the whole thing.
Do you have another one?
Oh, wow, look at
Of
holy
all
cow.
of us.
We'll have to show the camera. Oh, and even Kale's in there.
You guys, yeah.
You got Kale in there? Wow, that's a sweet Kale. It must have been from the back.
That's Kale looks like he could be busting out a saxophone there. I think maybe you need to start getting back on that horse, Kale.
Are you zooming in on that? Yeah,
That's
nice.
very good.
Nice.
And art, whether it's
she is an artist.
She is an artist.
She's got a really unique eye.
and art, whether it is art in written form like that, whether it is art in musical form like we're talking about today, whether it's theater, opera, that's really what, when you talk about a global community, what really binds us together, because you talk about the language of written music, music theory, whatever you want to say. At the end of the day, it is something that transcends all that. It is what really connects us as humans.
Absolutely.
And generations.
And generations, yes.
And the arts in particular that I'm feeling can never be replaced by a machine. We've seen a little bit of that with the digital stuff. It's neat, but it just ain't. It's just not the same as being in the same room, or appreciating art, or just absorbing it. And it's missing. So to have that back again, like having a really good meal in front of you, and you can just appreciate it the way it looks. Can't eat it yet, but you can look at it.
Chelsea, do us a
Not the
favor.
same.
Run through the concert series at the Seipel Center this year.
Okay, so July 6th and August 3rd, we have the Beaver Dam Community Band. July 13th, the Jazz Combo. July 20th, local vocals. July 27th, the Beaver Dam Community Theater's Broadway Showstoppers. August 10th, Whiskey Flats. And then August 17th, Rich Zeman and the Big Band Jazz.
And Rich?
Beaver Dam Area Orchestra String Orchestra this Sunday, 2 o'clock, Beaver Dam High School Auditorium. If you want tickets, please contact me, and you can email me at, what is my email? What is
Well, Rich,
BD,
C. Warmbold
here,
at
BDAO, Beaver Dam Area Orchestra Music Director, BDAO Music Director at gmail.com. Email me, and I'll see about getting you some tickets. Otherwise, we are going to be streaming live on our YouTube channel, and you can get access to that from our website, which is bdorchestra.com. We also have a Facebook page that you can access that too.
Well, fantastic.
So
This has been so much fun.
music is back. Did we do a whole hour? Because Chelsea was really worried about how much time we were going to take.
We did 65 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
Have you ever considered doing this like for a living?
I figure maybe. I
Yeah,
don't
don't
know.
quit your day job.
Thank you. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
At the end of the, I'll just stick to music. I'll just do the damn heathens thing full time, especially now.
And
that
then
you're
the
coming on
morning
as
show.
saxophone player.
I listen to WBEV mostly. I don't, not to the XRO, because I
the
just,
station I'm on.
yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
Okay, I appreciate
Are
it.
Damn Heathens on that station?
We have not been on there yet. No, we're looking forward to.
So
that
listening to you
opportunity.
guys on that morning show and then break time, because you're really
He
exhausted
knows the
from
name
the
of the
morning
shows.
show.
Wow, I'm impressed.
It's like 5 hours of middle-aged older guys just kind of ranting.
It really questioning why we even get paid.
And how easy it is to get Rick Armin going.
Oh, yeah, he's got a string on his back. Didn't you know that?
You can just kind of fish, and boy, he'll bite right away.
You need to know how to push the buttons.
Yeah,
is
Kraft
the real
doesn't
trick.
bite.
No.
He just kind of lays low.
Yeah, well, he's smart. That's
Who's
why.
the other guy?
Oh, then we got Thomas. Have you met Thomas?
Thomas, and then who's the
Me.
in the morning?
Well, we've got the news ninja now over there, Justin Wilski,
No, the
and then Wade Bates.
Wade.
Yes.
I couldn't think of Wade's name.
Now Wade's lovely wife is the principal over at the high school. Isn't that where you got fired from?
What's Wade's last name? What's Wade's last name?
Wade's last name is Bates.
Bates. He's
Bates.
married to Crystal?
He's married to Crystal.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, that explains it.
Well, did you work? Did you work with?
I
Crystal?
knew Crystal before she was the high school principal.
Oh, okay.
Principal.
Yeah. Before, right.
She was at my wife's DSLA. She was there for a while, and she was associate principal
Okay.
at the high school.
All right.
I got to know her. I was on some committees.
In L.A.
With some committees
That-
with
that
her.
was- okay.
So that's her husband.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you have? Would you like to? Do you have any insight? Do you
No, I
have any
haven't met him yet.
recommendations
I'd like
for
to
him?
meet him. You know, you always wonder what you guys
Look like?
look like.
He's
you know?
he's not as good looking as I am, Rich.
Who could be?
You know, I mean, it just
Boy.
it's But do you have any? You kept listening to the radio station, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. It does make me laugh once in a while. I think in February 12th, I think.
Was that of this year?
I had a guffaw.
Or was that last year?
Yeah, I
Okay.
had a guffaw.
You gave a
Yeah.
little chuckle.
And then that was pretty much it.
That was-
So I'm trying again.
That's a good
But
idea.
I'll tell you, can I speak honestly?
Oh, could you? If you would, for the first time this hour, we would appreciate it.
Jeff
We're in
Hall-
the second
Jeff
hour now.
Hall?
Yes.
What a gem that
Does
guy
he not
is.
know music?
Oh my gosh.
And you know,
I texted him once. I said, "You are," and I'm being honest for the first time on the show.
Mhm.
He is a gem for this station.
absolutely.
The music that he brings, the old stuff, and the knowledge and the background, and then playing entire albums. This guy must work 18 hours a day.
He covers about 18 hours a day. You know how radio works, right? You get a bunch of songs, you put them in a computer, you get a program that randomly selects what songs you're going to play so that they don't play the same song. Not Jeff.
I think
100%
he- I-
hand selected.
and-
Every song you hear is a song
And
he's
probably
decided
off,
will be played
probably
at
off
that
of
time.
vinyl. Some of those, it sounds like.
You know, We do have a record player here at the radio station, and he is like a master of that type of
See, Kale, that
whole
was like a
situation.
black
Yeah, you put a
disc,
black
and it used
disc
to
on.
go around,
right.
and
It's like a
then
CD, but
Yeah.
Laser disc?
Yeah, yeah, so,
laser disc.
like, sort of like that.
because
except,
somebody would
yeah.
know what a laser disc
Most
is, but not a
band
record.
classes, we just watched laser discs.
Do you remember laser discs?
Do you
Those
remember
were
Willow. I think everybody had Willow. That was basically about it.
Yeah, and Radio Lost Art.
Oh yeah, you can't forget about that one.
And then you put it on the Dolby Sound.
So that was your teaching
Anyway,
strategy?
he is a gem.
I
Love
could not
listening
agree with
to
you
his
anymore.
stuff.
We must have, if you were to count it, we must have like 40,000 songs in rotation. Maybe not in rotation, that we've played in the time that he's been there. Rotation, well, I don't
And
think anybody
I would
but
imagine a
40,000.
lot of that stuff is from his collection too.
He is a music enthusiast. He's a music lover.
Yeah.
And that's,
But just the history, rock and roll history date, and whose birthday it is, and then you play it. That stuff that's really good.
says one music lover about another music lover.
Absolutely.
What does that say about music? Chelsea?
Oh, God, like, I'm on the spot. It says everything.
Don't we have to cut for weather pretty
We
soon?
were supposed to cut 20 minutes ago, Rich. Are we even still on the
we
air
have to
with
meet.
this?
We have to meet with Sherry.
Right,
Oh, good
Sherry
gosh.
Sackett.
At 1:30?
At 1:30.
You're late. Sorry.
for a very
okay.
important date.
Yes,
I like the little rabbit.
Well, thank you, Uncle Bill.
So if we are still on the air, I guess I'll say thank you for joining us. If you wanted to look at what this looked like, you could go to the video stream and watch this.
When do you do the barn show?
It's coming up at 5 o'clock,
5
right
o'clock.
here on AM
Okay.
1430
All right.
WBEV.
You sound different in person.
You know, I've just been busier than a one-legged man at a butt-kicking contest. So, you know, I want to thank our guests for joining us on today's program. I got a little verklempt there.
Chelsea.
Yeah, keeping Rick Ruff off the dance floor. We've got Chelsea Seipel, and
I know what you did
you
there. That was
like
good.
where I'm going
That
with
was
this,
good,
and
yeah.
you know, making sure everybody on the
Punching-
dance floor
punching
is
tickets.
yeah, punching tickets and bouncing at the front door. Rich Zeman, we want to thank him for that. Again, SeipelCenter.org or BDOrchestra.com for all the stuff that we're talking about today.
And our guests, thank you for coming today.
I know.
We wanna thank
Perfect
you.
audience.
Simran and Ranveer.
Oh man, you guys did such a great job. Did you guys have fun? All right, will you say, okay, that's gonna do it for today's show? And that is gonna do it for today's show. Thank you very much. Have a good day.